What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. It's St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. But today was also episode 10 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. So of course today I will be giving you my recap and review. However, just like last time, I quite literally had 0 subs, so it will be more of a general recap, more so than in-depth. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and hop into it. We start off this episode where we left off last episode, with Latios finally gaining enough trust in Ash and the gang to show them that Latios is in trouble and needs their help. Of course, the gang agrees to help her and they all hop on Steelix as Latios tries to lead the way to try to find Latios. Along the way, the gang learns that Latios has been watching them from afar to see if they're the right people to trust in order to help her get her brother back. But after we get a cute little montage of all the moments that made Latios trust Ash over the course of the past few episodes, she gets a vision from Latios showing that he's being chased by a Pokemon hunter, which I actually really like this guy's design. He looks really edgy and he's riding on top of a Hydreigon, which just really ties the whole menacing look together. And I don't know why, but he low-key kind of gives me the same vibes as that one villain that was in the Celebi movie that was chasing after Celebi, like in the exact same way that this guy's literally chasing after Latios. Maybe that's just a me thing, but he was giving me the same vibes. But through this vision, we find out that the Pokemon Hunter has some kind of like crazy device that does something, because before we find out what it actually does, we just get a flash of light and the vision stops. Which of course sends Latios into a frenzy because she's worried about Latios, which this scene honestly broke my heart. It was so sad. She was so concerned. But after Ash and Pikachu reassure Latios that they're gonna do everything in their power in order to help her get Latios back, we actually cut over to the Team Rocket headquarters, where we see Meowth, James, and Jessie all arriving separately, vowing that they're finally gonna be the supervillains that they've been trying to be. So it looks like we are not going to leave off the way that we did last episode, with Team Rocket simply breaking apart and never seeing them again. So that does bring me some hope that they are going to reunite in the last episode in some way, shape, or form. So we are not gonna get gypped of a proper send-off for Team Rocket. But the next morning, Latios is woken up by yet another vision from Latios, showing that he's somewhere in a lake that's located inside of a cave trying to recover from his wounds. The rest of the gang wakes up and of course they set off towards the cave, but the Pokemon Hunter notices Latios flying through the trees and of course follows her. Latios and the gang make it to the cave where they find Latios, but Latios is not very happy to see anybody but Latios. And he actually tries to attack Ash, Pikachu, and the rest of the gang, with Pikachu having to Iron Tail it in order to stop its attack. Which that was kind of crazy to me. I was like, whoa, 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 Latios is already over here like at half health, and you're over here Iron Tailing him straight in the face? I like physically gasped. I was like, Pikachu, please, that was a little aggressive. But clearly Latios is not having it with humans since he's only had horrible interactions with this Pokemon Hunter. But Latios assures him that these humans are trying to help, so he kinda cooperates. And just in time actually, because right as Latios tries to give them the benefit of the doubt, the Pokemon Hunter of course enters the cave on Hydreigon. And so of course a huge battle ensues. Which honestly, this Pokemon Hunter is clearly smart because he's using a dragon type against a dragon type. And dragon types are super effective against dragon types. So at least he knows what he's doing. So I'll give him props for that. But in the middle of this giant battle, we finally find out what this weird contraption that he has does. And it actually traps Pokemon by turning them into metal, it seems. But the sad part is we find out what this thing actually does because he actually shoots the beam at Latios, which of course turns her to metal. It kind of reminds me of when Ash got turned into stone by Mewtwo in the first movie. Just think of that. So I don't know if it's stone or metal. It's one of the two. But I think it's metal because it made a weird like clinking noise. But of course, with Latios now turned to metal, he has Hydreigon grab her and tries to fly off with her. But Ash has some quick thinking and sends out Best Boy Swellow, which we literally haven't seen that thing since it fought a Latios itself. But while Swellow goes off to track down the Pokemon Hunter and Hydreigon, the gang is over here trying to heal Latios, but he's not having any of it. Brock tries to use a potion on him because he clearly sees that Latios is out here at like 1 HP. And Latios is like, nah, get that thing away from me. And Ash is like, hello? Sir, please, we're trying to help you. We're trying to get Latios back. Just take the potion, which eventually he does. And we finally see Latios start to actually cooperate with Ash after the gang manages to heal him, which is actually a pretty cool moment because I feel like most people thought that Latios was gonna be the one that they worked together with, since Latios has been like the center of attention since the very first episode. But nah, we see Ash over here riding on Latios through the forest and he actually looks pretty cool on that thing. But the gang manages to catch up to the Pokemon Hunter and Hydreigon, where they see Swellow trying to engage in battle battle with them, but the poor bird gets turned to metal too. But he tried his best, okay? But so at this point, Ash is like, listen, Latios, we gotta work together to take this guy out. So I'm gonna have you go for this guy's little harness thing on High Dragon, and Pikachu's gonna deal the final blow with Iron Tail. And the plan goes off without a hitch, with Pikachu's Iron Tail destroying the actual device that turned all the Pokemon into metal, and they are all freed from their metal forms, as we see the Pokemon Hunter and High Dragon falling into a river. The gang's happy and they think that all of the drama is over, but this fool will not stop. He comes out of the river and has High Dragon start berating poor Latios. But Ash manages to guide Latios towards a victory by creating some kind of illusion while High Dragon's attacking, like a straight up genjutsu, while Latios sneaks up behind them for a sneak attack. And in true 4th Hokage form, literally hits them from above with a straight up Rasengan. Obviously not a Rasengan, but it reminded me of that Naruto scene. This final sneak attack does manage to take High Dragon out, but the Pokemon Hunter is not done and literally just starts trying to run at them. But at this point, of course, Latios is freed from her metal state and uses her psychic powers to stop him. And luckily, Officer Jenny arrives on the scene in order to arrest him. But now that the drama's over, we cut back over to Ash, who's talking to Latios and Latios. And we see Ash trying to reach out and befriend Latios just like he did with Latios, but Latios is still not really having it with humans and actually rejects Ash's touch. And so Ash is like, I get it, you had some bad experiences, I won't push. And we see the Jet Twins fly off. So unfortunately, Ash will not be catching Latios or Latios. However, that's not actually where the episode ends, because we actually get this final little scene of Latios and Latios flying over the city from the 5th movie. And we get a couple of scenes of them flying through the city where we see the real Bianca with the hat painting a picture, and also Latios disguised as Bianca. So it is now confirmed that this Latios is not the same Latios from the movie, but that Latios is still around. But we end off the episode with movie Latios watching Latios and Latios fly off into the distance. So honestly, my final thoughts on this episode is I actually really liked it. This episode felt like a full-blown movie to me. Like, I feel like if they had wanted to, they could have made this episode into like a whole movie, like a second Latios and Latios movie. And although Ash didn't catch Latios or Latios, I did like that they didn't just do like the cookie cutter ending with Latios being like, oh yeah, like we're friends now because you helped me. Like Latios was still like, we cooperated, but I still don't like you. But thanks for helping me reunite with my sister. I'm gonna go now. So I did kind of like that they went in a different direction than most people thought that they would, which I feel like did make this entire episode a little bit more impactful. And maybe I'm just a sucker for Latios and Latios since they are two of my favorite legendaries. I love the Jet Twins, but I think this is now my favorite episode because I'm telling you, when Latios was freaking out about Latios, it really got me. And of course, I loved that we did get that reassurance that Team Rocket will most likely reunite in the last episode of the series, so we'll actually get a proper send-off for them. So of course, I clearly enjoyed the episode, and if I had to give it a rating, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. But of course, I would love to hear what you guys think of the episode down below in the comments. And let me know what you expect from our final episode that we're supposed to get next week, because that's just crazy to me that Ash and Pikachu's journey will be ending in quite literally 7 days. So next week's episode is gonna be a big one, especially since we'll see if Ash has an answer to Gary's question of how close he is to becoming a Pokemon Master. So let me know what your predictions are for next week's episode as well. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this recap and review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I kindly suggest that you consider subscribing so that I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you're already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.